Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to another episode of my weekly playlist series. We've made it to another Friday, which means it's time for me to share with you guys the games I've been playing during the week. I'll give you guys my opinions and thoughts on the games, whether I think you guys should check them out or not. Of course, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the games I shared with you today. Maybe you've played them, maybe there's something you liked about them, maybe there's something you didn't like about them. I'd also like to hear about the games you guys are playing, as that gives me ideas of new games to check out and play. And if you guys have a suggestion on a game you think that I might enjoy, let me know. I'm always looking for new suggestions of new games to play. If maybe I'll have in my collection. If not, I can add them to a list of games to eventually pick up from your guys' recommendations. So keep those coming. Really appreciate everybody who has been sharing the games they play with me and their recommendations. You guys have got me interested in a lot of games, and I have quite a large list of games to eventually play or pick up and play. So keep those coming. So I've got just one game to share with you guys this week, and it's another one for the Xbox Series X I've been playing. I have not played this one in a while. I decided to revisit it, as I recently had beat a few games, and that game is Vampire. This is created by a small development studio called Don't Nod Entertainment and published by Focus Home Interactive. It's a really interesting third-person action RPG where you play as a vampire. So I'll read you guys stuff on the back. Cursed be the choice. London, 1918. You are a newly turned vampire, Dr. Jonathan Reed. As a doctor, you must find a cure to save the city's flu-ravaged citizens. As a vampire, you are cursed to feed on those you vowed to heal. Will you embrace the monster within? Survive the fight against vampire hunters, undead skulls, and other supernatural creatures. Use your unholy powers to delve into and manipulate the lives of those around you. Struggle to live with your decisions. Your actions will save or doom London. Become the savior or the stalker. A web of interconnected citizen reacts to your decisions. Fight and manipulate with supernatural abilities. So, let's check out Vampire. Hey guys, today we're taking a look at a really cool third-person action RPG called Vampire. This was created by a small development studio called Don't Nod Entertainment, published by Focus Home Interactive. I originally got this game back in 2018 when it first had come out. I rented it from Family Video, played it, really enjoyed it. I then eventually bought it from them when they put it on sale for $20, and I've had it in my collection ever since. Get it started here. So the basic story of this is you play as a doctor called Dr. Jonathan Reed. You have just come back from fighting in World War I, and at the very beginning of the game you get attacked by a vampire and you become a vampire, and you have to deal with the consequences now of being a doctor but also being a vampire. So you swore an oath as a doctor to never hurt anybody and to heal those that are sick. But now that you're a vampire, you also have a side of you that craves blood and wants to kill people to drain them of their blood. And so you have to balance your humanity with being a vampire. And it's a really interesting story. I won't go into too much details. I don't want to ruin story for you guys. But that's the basic story there. You have to figure out who made you a vampire, and then what you're going to do now that you are a vampire. So obviously you have your limitations. You can only come out at night, or can't be during the day, and you have to decide whether you're going to embrace your dark side or keep your humanity intact. The game does have really nice graphics. I really love the graphics in this game. Now I'm playing it here on Xbox Series X, but originally it came out for the Xbox One. It does run really well on the Xbox One X. Of course, it runs better on the Series X. There is no optimization, though, for Series X. There's not like a Series X update or anything for this game. They never did that. So it runs the same as it will on your One X, but it still has really good visuals, The music is fantastic, really fits the world. The voice actors they chose for the game are great. Every character has a unique voice, and it just works really, really well. It's got a decent sized menu, as this does have some open world aspects to the game. That's not a huge map, as you have it broke up into several different districts. There's 4 of them. You can see, they're North Docks, Western Docks, just the docks at Southwark, the hospital, the West End, and the Whitechapel area. So you do have a pretty decent sized map. It's not too big, as that's the problem sometimes. The game worlds get too large and it just feel really empty, where this, feels just the right size for the game. And you have a main story to go through, which I'm currently on chapter 4 of, but you also have side missions that you can take on as well, as you have different people that will give you different tasks to complete in the different districts. And you can see I've done all the side quests so far, but there may be more that will open up. Now what's interesting about this RPG is that you level up with XP by completing missions, by fighting enemies, as there are human enemies to fight, but there are also other vampires and creatures for you to fight that you earn XP by killing them. But one of the quickest way you can get XP in this game is actually by killing the various citizens that inhabit the world here. And you can see that depending on their blood quality, meaning, how healthy they are, you can earn certain XP from them, which this one's worth 4,000. You also can learn about these different characters in the world by learning different hints about them, which then increases their blood quality and unlocks XP for them. But it comes with the consequences that once you kill somebody, they're gone forever, and it will affect the overall status of the area. Like right now here in the Pembroke Hospital, we're at the health status 100%. Everybody's healthy, everything's fine, and so the enemies inhabiting the area are down to a minimum. But if you kill too many people, you can actually turn the area hostile, and then it's just going to be plagued with creatures and stuff, and it's going to affect the morale of everybody, and it just brings down the city. But it can make your character stronger because you can kill and level up faster. So you have to decide, am I going to be evil or am I going to be good? I'm trying to play through as a good playthrough where I'm not killing any of the people, so it makes it a lot harder for you to level up because you have to grind more and stuff. You have your collectibles to find throughout the world. You also have a variety of weapons to choose from that you can find. You have one-handed weapons, you have two-handed weapons, offhand weapons, and even firearms in the game. You've got your little shotguns and pistols and stuff. This game takes place in 1918, and so you're right in the heart of the Spanish flu ravaging the world. And so as a doctor, you're trying to find a cure for that, as well as finding out why you're a vampire and what is with all these vampire creatures that are out and about. You have various collectibles and stuff you can get, because you can make health serums, you can make treatments and stuff. Since you're a doctor, you can actually cure the various people in the world of their ailments that will happen. There's also junk and stuff you can find, and then the various quest items as you do quests. And then you have your area here where you can see you've leveled up. I'm currently level 25, and then you have your mesmerized level. The higher your mesmerized level is, the higher ability you have to control people's minds, because some people have stronger minds, so you have to have a higher mesmerized level for you to actually control them if you want to kill them. So this keeps track of your stamina, your life meter, and your blood meter, which your blood meter fuels your active abilities, which you can then unlock through the RPG elements, upgrading like your bite attack and your other attacks, how many serums you can equip, and then you have your health ones, and you have your blood one, which your blood ones are basically kind of like mana, which fuels your vampire abilities. So you have the various ones that you can upgrade and stuff. And you upgrade this at safe houses where your character sleeps, and then it goes into the next night. And sometimes you'll have here, like, she was suffering from like a headache, and so I gave her medicine so she's recovering, so when I rest the next night she'll be cured, but other people could then come down sick as well. So it has a really interesting dynamic to the whole world of doing stuff and going through and exploring that I really enjoyed. Has some great combat as well, so there are certain areas where you don't have to worry about combat, where the main characters are like walking around, but in between areas and stuff, you'll actually find where creatures are prowling, and you'll actually hear the music change. It'll get real dark and ominous, like it is now, and this is where the area can be inhabited by creatures for you to fight. And since Jonathan is a vampire, he can do little teleportation stuff like this to get up to areas that you normally wouldn't be able to get up to. And you can hear one of the creatures in the area. What's really cool too is, since Jonathan is a vampire, he can turn this little vampire mode, and this is where you can learn stuff about where various creatures or humans are at. And this tells me this is a rogue skull, so this is like a lowly vampire type creature who's gone completely insane and has no kind of reasoning ability and can't talk or think, and just is crazy obsessed with getting blood and stuff. And so those are some of the enemies you'll have to fight. And now, as you can see with their level, the higher the enemy's level is, the harder, the more difficult they are going to be. And so he gave me 5 XP for killing him. So obviously, by leveling up, you know, you'll make encounters with the creatures easier. There's also boss battles and stuff. And of course, as you progress through the story, the enemies get stronger and stronger. Now, they do have a little meter below them, which if you can break that meter all the way down by successive hits, you'll actually stun them, and then you can go in and grab them and bite them, and you can drain them of blood to heal yourself and refill your blood meter, which is really cool. And so sometimes you got to be careful, like this low-level area now, you know, they're lower than my level, I don't have to worry. But when you get into an area where there's a bunch of high-level enemies, you got to be careful because they can kill you quickly. And now you can't just go all willy-nilly, like just swinging like crazy. As you see, my stamina meter runs out. And if you run out in the middle of attacking, you know, you won't be able to attack anymore, and you'll have to evade and dodge, which you do have a quick ability of being able to dodge, but again, that will drain your stamina meter. So, you know, you have to balance all this stuff in fights and stuff, and sometimes you have to move around in battle and avoid enemies as best you can, especially when they're really difficult, and then use your various abilities that you actually unlock. And then a lot of the enemies you defeat will actually drop items and stuff that you can then use to craft for increasing weapons, because you can actually upgrade the weapons you have in the game, and then you can craft your medical stuff that you use to actually heal the various citizens in the world. And you also can craft your own healing items to use as well. And then, of course, like I mentioned, you know, the blood is what fuels your ability, so kind of like mana, but it's blood based. And there's all kinds of different ones you can get in the different abilities, where you can like create like blood spikes you can use to attack enemies, and there's just different vampire abilities in the game. So it's really cool. It's really interesting playing as a vampire. Another thing I really liked about this game is that they have a society of vampires in this world, and they're not like just evil. You know, usually in vampire movies, you know, they're all crazy creatures. They just enjoy killing everybody. I mean, you have some of those people in this game, but you also have vampires who are vampires, but they try to be civilized being vampires. They're not all just want to kill everybody. You know, obviously they want to protect themselves and hide that vampires exist from the world. But some of them have a moral code that they live by. You know, they're careful what they do, and they're not all considered like evil, which is what I like about playing as Dr. Jonathan Reed. You know, he's kind of torn, you know, like, I was a human, I'm supposed to be a doctor, but now I'm this vampire, but, you know, I have to fight my urge. Do I really want to be evil, or do I want to be something more than that? And so in this game, vampires are called econs. That's what they call themselves. And you'll run into good ones, but then you'll run into some kind in the middle, and then you'll run into some that are just pure evil and stuff. And a lot of those are the different lower level vampire creatures that you will run into. But I've really had a lot of fun with this game. This is one of those, if you want to do everything, absolutely everything in the game, unlock all the achievements and stuff, you're looking at about a 40 to 50 hour time playing through, because I don't rush through the game as since I'm playing the pacifist run, it's a lot harder for me. I'm not getting as much XP as somebody who's going through and killing everybody and leveling up real fast. So I have to grind through killing enemies and stuff to level up and get stronger. And for me, I kind of like the challenge of playing the pacifist run, is it makes it more difficult for you. And so you have to be more cunning with what you're doing, and you have to come up with solutions and stuff. There is a walkthrough that I have that I'm following because sadly this game did not get a physical printed strategy guide, but there is a great guide that I use that helps me so that I don't mess any of the side quests, because there's certain quests that are only available during certain chapters, so if you progress the story too far, you'll lose it. This game does have perma-save thing where the game will save for you. You can't create manual saves and go back and fix your mistakes. You have to be able to live with your mistakes, so I use that guide to make sure that I don't miss any of the stuff. But it's a really fun action RPG that I think you guys would enjoy. If you have not played it yet, I definitely recommend picking up a copy and checking it out, as I have been having a lot of fun with this game. Not a lot of people talked about it back when it came out in 2018. They got some hate and stuff with some glitches and stuff, but they had worked on the game. They worked on any issues, patched it all out, and I haven't really had too many issues with the game myself personally playing through it these last several years, and I'm glad to finally be back to it. It took me a few minutes to get used to the game's combat and everything, because it's not perfect. There are some flaws and stuff with the game, but it does not detract at all from how enjoyable the game is. So definitely think you guys should check out Vampire. I am looking forward to finally getting this one beat, and it's one I think you guys should check out. Alright guys, just wanted to add this in the talking with people. I meant to show this, I forgot in my first clip that I did, but I showed that he has the ability to see the stuff from him, but I wanted to show you guys what it was like actually talking to one of the characters, because I meant to show this.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
So, you have various RPG stuff here where, you can ask different questions and stuff. So if you see the unlock means that I unlocked a hint, so it's something I can learn from him.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
So you can learn stuff about other characters by talking to various characters as well. And then you can also check on their health status, and you can actually give them medicine if they need it. You can offer it to them, and that's how you heal them. But I just wanted to show you guys that. I meant to show that the dialogue wheel and stuff of actually interacting and talking with the various characters, because you can embrace them with the mesmerizing, and then you have to lure them to an area to actually kill them that I had talked about earlier. But that's where some of the talking and stuff I wanted to share with you guys, just so you guys get that little thing. So you can talk to the various characters. It's how you can learn stuff about the story and pick up missions and stuff that way. And that's also how you can lure them to actually kill them to drain of their blood for XP. So I just wanted to add that little clip in here for you guys, as I forgot to show that part that I had planned to. Hope you guys enjoyed that look at Vampire. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I currently have over 41 hours, and that's been since I played it in 2018. Played it for a while, then I set it down, played a little bit in 2020, and then I have not picked it up again until now in 2023, and it's one that I want to finally beat. I'm a little over halfway done with the main story, and I've done most of the side missions up to that point. But it is a fantastic game, as you guys had saw in the gameplay clip. I highly recommend, if you guys have never played this, to pick it up. The main story, if you don't do anything extra, will take you about 16 to 17 hours. But if you do everything and all the side missions and exploring everything, you're looking at about 40 to 60 hours. I probably will be closer to 60 hours myself, as I like to go through and grind. I'm also doing my pacifist run, so it does make the game a lot more challenging. So I am grinding out different battles and stuff, and just taking my time, and I just like to love to explore these kind of worlds, and it's just really interesting. I love what they did with the world of vampires in this, is that they're not all just considered evil. There are ones that seem to be good, that are vampires that aren't all evil, and so there are different kinds of vampires that you will encounter in the game, and I really like that, and it really adds to a really fun and great story. Music is just absolutely phenomenal. The setting looks great, graphics, voice acting, just everything about this game is done really well, and it was made by a small development studio, and they did a really good job with this. You know, it had received some great reviews, but it also had some people that were kind of jaded about the game and kind of hated it when it had come out. I'm here to tell you guys that I have really enjoyed it, and I think you guys should definitely check out Vampire. Let me know your guys' thoughts, though, if you guys have played Vampire or not. Really good game. You can also play it on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. It's also on the PC. I've had a lot of fun with it. I think you guys would enjoy it. So let me know your guys' thoughts on it. Let me know about the games you guys are currently playing, and if you have a suggestion on a game you think I should check out, let me know. Always looking for a new game to play and experience. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. You guys have an amazing day, and Sleepy will see you next time.